You don't remember when it started hurting. That's the strange part. At first it felt like warmth, like finally being seen, like someone reaching into the quiet parts of you and saying, "I know you." And for a while, that was enough. But now love feels heavy. It feels like anxiety dressed up as passion. Like waiting for a text that decides your mood. Like explaining away disrespect because you're scared of being alone. And somehow you still call it love. Let me tell you a story. Not about them, about you. About the version of you who learned, slowly, painfully, that love doesn't always arrive gently. You didn't fall in love with a person. You fell in love with a feeling. The highs were intoxicating. When they chose you, noticed you, wanted you, your chest felt light. Your thoughts quieted. For a moment, the noise inside you stopped. You felt worthy. But the lows were brutal. Silence, distance, mixed signals. Moments where you questioned everything you said, everything you did, everything you were, and yet you stayed. Because when it was good, it felt like oxygen. And when it was bad, it felt like withdrawal. That's the pain you call love. Here's the truth no one warned you about. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between excitement and anxiety. If chaos feels familiar, your body will mistake it for chemistry. If inconsistency feels normal, your heart will call it passion. If emotional distance reminds you of home, you'll chase it like destiny. You don't miss them. You miss how being chosen briefly made you forget your own emptiness, and that's why walking away feels impossible. Because leaving them means facing the part of you that hoped this time would be different. You tell yourself stories to survive it. They're just scared. They had a rough past. So if I love them harder, they'll change. But deep down, you know, love isn't supposed to feel like constantly proving your worth. It isn't supposed to feel like you're auditioning for a role that can be taken away at any moment. Real love doesn't keep you guessing. It doesn't punish you with silence. It doesn't make you feel small so you'll stay. Yet here you are, calling pain love because pain is what you learn to recognize. Let's be honest for a moment. You don't stay because it feels good. You stay because it feels familiar. Maybe you grew up earning affection. Maybe love came with conditions. Maybe you learned early that closeness was unpredictable, that safety could disappear without warning. So now when someone pulls away, your body panics, your chest tightens, your thoughts race, and you mistake that fear for love. You think, if it hurts this much, it must be real. But intensity is not intimacy. Attachment is not connection. And suffering is not proof of love. The pain you call love slowly reshapes you. You become quieter, more careful, less honest about your needs. You apologize for wanting reassurance. You downplay your hurt to keep the peace. You shrink yourself to avoid being too much. And the saddest part? You start believing this is all you deserve. You stop asking, "Is this good for me?" and start asking, "How can I endure this better?" That's not love, that's survival. There's a moment, small, easy to miss, when love turns into self-betrayal. It's when you know something hurts you, and you choose it anyway. When your body begs for safety, but your heart clings to hope. When you trade peace for the possibility of being chosen again. And every time you do that, you lose a little bit of yourself. You don't just miss them when they're gone. You miss who you were before the confusion, before the anxiety, before love felt like walking on broken glass. Here's what no one says out loud. Letting go doesn't hurt because they were perfect. It hurts because you invested your identity into being loved by them. Their approval became your mirror. Their attention became your validation. Their distance became your obsession. So when they leave or pull away, it feels like you're disappearing too. But you're not. You're waking up. Real love doesn't require you to abandon yourself. It doesn't make you feel constantly on edge. It doesn't confuse you more than it comforts you. Healthy love feels calm. And if you're used to chaos, calm will feel boring at first. Not because it lacks depth, but because it lacks drama. And drama is what your nervous system learned to crave. The pain you call love isn't proof of connection. It's proof of an unmet need. A need for safety. A need for consistency. A need to be chosen without performing. And until you learn to meet those needs within yourself, or accept them from someone capable of giving them, you'll keep confusing intensity with intimacy. You'll keep mistaking longing for love. This is the hardest part to accept. Sometimes the person you love is not the person who can love you back in the way you need, and staying won't change that. No amount of patience can turn emotional unavailability into presence. No amount of loyalty can force someone to choose you consistently. No amount of pain can transform into love if love was never truly there. But here's the part that changes everything. The moment you stop calling pain love, you make room for something better. Something quieter. Something steadier. Something that doesn't leave you doubting your worth. At first, it will feel unfamiliar. You might even push it away because peace doesn't scream. It doesn't rush. It doesn't hurt. And if you've spent years equating love with pain, peace will feel suspicious. But stay with it. You are not weak for loving deeply. You are not foolish for hoping. And you are not broken for staying longer than you should have. You were doing the best you could with the tools you had, but now you know better. Love is not something you survive. It's something you rest in. And the moment you choose yourself over the pain you call love is the moment real love finally has a chance to find you. Not because you suffered enough, but because you finally stopped confusing suffering with love.